In this video, we're gonna talk about when you should do a rinseless wash or a waterless wash against a traditional wash, when the condition is too dirty for which one, and what you can do if you don't have access to water but you are cleaning a very dirty vehicle. So on this channel, or specifically what I do, when it comes to washing a vehicle, prepping a vehicle for either just a wash and wax or for some type of paint polishing or paint correction, if the condition is not that bad, or if it's somewhere where I can get by with it, I always go with a rinseless wash, because in my opinion and my experience, what I'm trying to do is it's faster and more efficient to get straight to what I want to do, which is wash, clay, dry, prep the vehicle for the next step. So when is it too dirty and when is it a good fit for you to do a rinseless wash or a waterless, if that's what you're into? Me, not so much, but if you want to do waterless, that's fine for you. Or so when should you do a rinseless versus when you should do an a traditional wash? So take for instance my personal vehicle, my mobile vehicle here. I don't know how well you can tell because it's not that bright in here and it's white, but as you can see, there is a light layer of dirt right there. You see that? So, but that's only on the bottom portion of the vehicle, right? Because obviously we're driving, it's gonna kick on the lower panels of the vehicle, especially the rear end right there. All right, so this would still easily pass as a rinseless, because let's say from here and above, right, essentially it's gonna be a relatively clean car from here and above. The real dirty part is gonna be here and below, and when it's dirty, it's not all that dirty, but there's a little bit of dirt on there. Now if you move to the back side, of course the rear end is always gonna be much dirtier. So like with here, instead of using a wash mitt, I'll just use a separate towel to clean the windshield off and the license plate off, and then I'll go the rest and wash it as normal. So this car in this condition, if it's a little dirtier, you could still get away with it, but this is a perfect example of when to use a rinseless wash, right? Not that bad, no big deal, especially if it has been corrected and like this is a 09. So if this car has gone through improper washing and drying for its entire life, then you going and just, even if it's a little too dirty and you doing rinseless, nothing is gonna change on the vehicle's appearance, because it's an 09, years of improper washing and drying, assuming this was like a customer's vehicle. Then you coming in there trying to be super fancy and super, way too careful with it is not gonna make a big difference. Now let's bring it all the way here to this 2017 truck, I believe. It's a Tacoma, and can you guys see? Let's see here. Let me lower the ISO for you guys. Okay, so let's look at this here. This is excessively dirty and could not pass as a rinseless wash, because this dirt here is really dry. Let's see if you can hear it. It's really dry and really kicked on in there. Let me see. Right here, see? So this is way too caked on to just do a rinseless wash. So with this one, the best scenario you'll need for this is that you'll first, the best thing is to pressure wash it, right? Either you can spray APC on these panels and then rinse it off with a pressure washer, or just your regular garden hose, which you're not gonna get much with just a garden hose at this level, or foam it down and then rinse it down with your pressure washer. Now me, I don't carry a pressure washer. I'm just gonna go with APC, spray on the side of the car or whatever vehicle you're working on. Let the APC dwell, rinse it off with your pressure washer or your hose. If you're gonna use a hose like I would, you're not gonna get much dirt off of that because it's so stuck onto the paint. That's gonna vary from car to car. If you have a pressure washer, you'll knock off a good chunk of that dirt off of the paint, so it's a lot easier for you to wash the vehicle. And then after that, I'll just go with a traditional wash method, which is whatever wash method you want to use that has suds, and it's very viscous, I think is the word, that to put enough lubrication to make sure you're washing it and removing all the dirt. So for that, I would do that. Now, let's say you're at a apartment, at a work location, and you run into a vehicle with that type of condition, but you don't have a pressure washer around. So what do you do then? So you have to think outside the box. Not every vehicle you work on, assuming it's kind of dark now, assuming you're doing this as a business, it's not going to be like every time cookie cutter like this way every way. You might have to venture off a little bit and go on your own path on some vehicles. So if this one, let's say you don't have even an electrical pressure washer or anything else to wash that vehicle on that condition, then what you could do is you could take a 5-gallon bucket of water filled up with your traditional soap, whatever, Meguiar's Gold Class, Chemical Guys, whatever, Adams, whatever you want, right? And you can wash one, and assuming it's kind of wet, you know, I mean it's kind of hot and not in your favor, you can use one bucket, one wash mitt to, let's say, clean. Let's say if this was, I'm staying away from the sun so that way it's easier to film. So let's say it's really dirty, right? Really dirty. Then one bucket could be for your traditional wash media, right? Which is all sudsy. It's very it's gonna be easy to wash. You're gonna wash the panel with the traditional soap, very sudsy, very what's the, man, I keep on forgetting the word. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but you guys know what I mean. I cannot think of the word right now. But it has a lot of lubricant on the panel, so it cleans off nicely, right? And again, you don't have access to a pressure washer or hose at that time. So then, if you can, right, this is just thinking outside the box to get the job done for whatever situation you're in. You can then take a rinseless, another 5-gallon bucket of water with your rinseless media, like another 5-gallon bucket filled with water and your rinseless wash media, whether it be ONR or Chemical Guys or any other option, and then wash it right after it with that media. That way it mops it up. That way it rinses down the soapy media, the soapy wash, and then you can go straight to drying. I've only done that once, and that was actually at a customer's location, at their home location, because I wanted to try it out. Again, not the best method. It is taking much longer. If you just had some type of pressure washer of any sort, it'd help you out. But just to give you that think outside the box. Now, one thing I want to note is that you can't overcomplicate these things when it comes to washing a vehicle. I remember when I first started, like it would be a Honda Accord. They're paying me like 30 bucks to wash a vehicle. But because I saw so many YouTube videos, I read so many blog posts, I saw so many detailers talking about it, that you have to have 3 wash mitts and 2 wash buckets, both filled up to 5 gallons of water, and make sure that 1 wash mitt for the upper half, 1 wash mitt for the bottom half of the vehicle, and then another wash mitt for like the whatever. I have no idea. And that was such overkill in the beginning. Like I wasted so much time, so much money, so much product for such a little job. And these vehicles weren't like, and even if they were, it's still overkill. Like these were just your everyday 2012 Honda Accord, your 2015, you know, Nissan Altima. So don't overthink it. And if it hasn't been corrected and it's like 5 years old, 4 years old, 3 years old, that paint's already hammered with swirls and scratches. So you don't want to overthink the process. I know you watch a bunch of YouTube videos, you over romanticize how, you know, the actual work of what a detailer does, but the reality of it is you want to keep things simple. All those super hype videos you see of someone detailing a Porsche or Lamborghini and washing it, and it's overkill. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Hopefully you got something valuable out of this video. Leave your comments, questions down below in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next video.